Welcome to Blend More with the Oars.
Hey everyone, back for another Blended Mondays. And we are the Orr family. I'm Charles Orr, and this is my beautiful wife,
Jasmine. Jasmine, hey guys.
Hey. We just want to say thank you guys for tuning in and watching our YouTube page. I don't know if this is you guys' first video of us, but we did create a video last week for last Monday. Kind of an introduction to who we are, kind of a little background story to how we are a blended family. We kind of want to touch bases and kind of clarify a little bit more about what we want our page to be and kind of what it is that we set out to do and why we are creating these YouTube videos for you guys. It's not just about our personal story, but also a way to kind of communicate and help other families out there too as well. But I'll let my wife explain it a little bit more since it was more of her idea of who actually created it.
Okay, so the dynamics here, I'll just give our dynamic really quick. We are a blended family in the sense that I am not the biological parent of all of the children, whereas he is, so I'm coming in as the stepmom. Don't really like that term a whole lot, but that's my role in our family. He has 4 boys, and then we have 2 children together, so we're a combined family
Of
6 children, so a combined family of 8 total.
Yeah.
Other dynamics of that are a single mother with children who's looking to blend into another relationship, so we welcome questions and anything from that aspect, and maybe questions more from a male perspective maybe for a single mother. Other dynamics include a single woman, which I once was, going into a relationship with a man who has children. And then the last dynamic ultimately would be kind of a Brady Bunch dynamic where
Or even
mom
the
and
guy.
dad,
Or even the mom and dad both having kids.
or the dynamic of a stepfather.
Or a stepfather.
Blended
That's what I was
father.
gonna talk to.
Yeah, so
So a guy who doesn't have kids would get with a woman, a single mother who does have kids, and trying to work out that dynamics too as well. So so we just, like I say, just kind of an outlet, a resource for us to kind of share our experience, but at the same time, want to kind of give some advice and some feedback and take in some questions for other families out there. And
so please leave messages. Just leave
email
comments.
us. Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's get to the question this week. Hey Tiffany, thank you for the question. This week is, how is my relationship with the moms? What was that journey like? We mentioned last week that my husband has 4 boys by 3 different women. So, obviously that is a very interesting dynamic. Not only did I come into his life and his 4 children's lives, but now I am dealing with 3 women in addition to that. So what is that? 3, 4, 8 people. 8 people outside of myself that I kind of came into a situation. So I don't want to get too far back into my own personal roots, but I do want to say that my mother raised me to be a girl's girl. And when I say I'm a girl's girl, I'm a girl's girl. I've always had a lot of friends. I mingle and have great relationships with women, period, point blank. Never had a problem with that. It's always been really smooth for me. I just have always had a group of great girlfriends. So, when I came into the dynamic and I met the women, I always had a level of respect because I just naturally respect women. And I think I came from more of a womanhood aspect. And just like, okay, I mean, and also let me say this. This was kind of during the time when I was 18 where it was that dynamic of, you know that he's probably still sleeping with her, girl. And it's like, we never had that. We kind of talked about it and I never questioned that. I never thought like, well, what's going on? Are they still messing around? So I think that it always kind of eased my mind that these were just the mothers of his children, and the one common goal was to raise the kids. And in addition to that, I always knew that I needed to meet these women. So when the kids would come around initially when I met his children and they were all at different times, I always introduced myself. No, there wasn't a long drawn out sit down, long drawn out conversations, but when I would be in the car with him and he would go pick up his children, I'd always, hi, my name is Jasmine, because although I didn't have kids at the time, I really understood that I want this woman to feel comfortable with me being around her kids. I don't want her to think, who is this person? Is she gonna harm my kid? What's going on with that? So I just always wanted to be very open. In addition to that, I have a lot of close girlfriends who are single mothers. So because of that, I was very sensitive kind of to that issue. I would always tell him, you know, you don't know what they feel. You don't know what the relationship and the things that they might be feeling inside right now whenever
Yeah, and just to kind
different
of
issues would arise.
back up a little bit, just also one of the reasons why it wasn't the big issue was if he was still sleeping with my kid's mother was just more so because of the fact that I never was in a serious committed relationship or with them, or never had experience living on my own with any of the kids or living with their mother in the same household. So because of that, I know that's a kind of a different dynamic for some people's situations that may go into
That's
where,
true. Maybe there was a prior relationship.
yeah, real relationship, and you know the kid was involved, or they stayed together and it was in the same household and kind of growing up with family situations. So that's kind of one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind when we kind of explain our feedback and advice on how our situation is, that it may not always look exactly the same as yours, but we try to at least give you guys our standpoint and our viewpoint on, you know, the entire situation about it. So.
Absolutely. And going back to that, in the beginning, I don't think anyone took the relationship serious. So it was very
What
easy. Yours and mine.
Okay.
The mothers were kind of like, okay, it's his girlfriend. I mean, at that point,
Yeah.
he had been with one girl
Younger
and had
of course,
another
kids
child,
after
and
them, and
so they kind of knew that Papa was a rolling stone.
whatever.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
that's what you call them back in the
Anyways,
day.
nobody was taking the relationship too seriously. However, I did notice a shift when we moved in together. And I said, okay, they're kind of, and it was never against me. Let me just say this. I don't do drama. I don't do arguments, any of that. Me and these women, like today, never had a fight, an argument, anything. I always transferred my information through him. So when he would receive news and he would share it with me like partners do, then I would kind of say, oh, I wasn't feeling that, or whatever the case, and we'll discuss it amongst ourselves, and it was for him to take the information back to the woman. Now, again, this is earlier in our relationship.
Yeah.
So marriage looks a little different for that, but we'll kind of get to that point. But I think that I started to see a shift and a change as far as communication with the children when we moved in. And of course it got more serious, and I was completely sensitive to the fact that they might be feeling like, and I could be totally wrong, but they could be feeling like their dream of maybe one day rekindling the relationship was gone once we kind of went further into the relationship. I'll tell you what I mean by that. I am a woman. We have children together. Yes, we're married, but let's take that out of the equation for a second. When you give yourself, your body to someone, and you have children for this person, I believe as a woman, in your heart, you would like to see that pans out for you. I think that you would like to see that relationship through. So to find out that he couldn't have that with me, but he could have it with someone else, I would imagine initially is heartbreaking to any woman. So I understood that, and I was very sensitive to the fact I kind of felt like, well, dang. And he would always be like, they don't care, they don't this. And I'm like, I'm just starting to see things shift a little bit. Like, an example of that would be, well, you need to do this more. You need to do that. You know, you done got this place now, and you done got.
And I'll go back and say this. There's a guy those are things you just don't kind of pay attention to or pick up on. So a lot of the stuff that she used to try to point out to me and examples and stuff like that, or this can change, or now they acting like this, or, you know, whatever the case may be. I didn't look too far into it, so the whole concept that, you know, they could be hoping that anything could be rekindled, I didn't think of that at all, and I really thought that wouldn't be the case. But as she said, as she started pointing out things to me, you know, once we moved together, and also even when we got married, things have changed a little bit. You know, a little bit more, less communication, less willing to, I guess you say, kind of cooperate as far as like seeing the kids on more of a on a weekly basis, or whatever the case may be. I did start noticing when she started pointing it out, but just, I guess more so to kind of point out to women and guys, women just be mindful that men, we just don't pick up on things like that. So don't think that he's just naive. Could be naive, but don't think that he's the only guy. He's just really at fault and he's trying to hide something.
And I'm not saying that was the case in every situation. Again, his oldest son's mom, I would say by far, we have the best relationship and we communicate a lot. And I am actually the primary source of communication in the majority of the situations.
I would say at least 2 out of the 3.
Yeah, 2 out of the 3 more so. So the oldest son's mom, I mean, of course we were younger when we met. Really no issues there. I mean, she probably was thinking like, who the heck is this girl? And, you know, she introduced herself to me. I am such and such, and I'm his child's mother. And I was like, okay, girl, hey. So, you know, it wasn't a big deal at all with her. The second girl, really no issues. We did go a period of time where we kind of lost communication with the boys, unfortunately. But we have since moved past that. And the last child was, again, that situation where it was during our relationship.
Yeah.
So that is a completely different situation because when I learned of that child, the child was 1 year old. The mother knew that I didn't know. So I would imagine that she's always held resentment towards Trey. And to this day, that son of ours is kind of more of the standoffish child. So, out of all of the children. So, that might be another question for you, kind of what happened with that. But, so.
I mean, overall, the relationships are pretty much good, but in my experience, it's just, we never really had any of the drama, like true drama that I kind of hear about or stuff that people talk about. The only thing that we more so had issues with was just my communication with the mothers, which is where she played a big role in everything.
This dude, let me tell you something. He is the most laid back person I know, but when they're on the phone, it's kind of like, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you arguing about? What is wrong? But this is him though. When he wants to get his point across, he's gonna keep going, and he's very analytical and, don't get me wrong, smartest man I know, hands down. Very logical reasoning. He has all of that, but I just think sometimes he doesn't articulate it well, and he goes too far. It's like, Trey, cut that. So anyways.
So because of that, I say that's kind of more of a way that she was able to kind of come in and
but I would say
really
this.
smooth it over with having the relationship with them.
But tread lightly with that. You don't want to be all integrated in what they have going on initially. I will say that it's his child, it's her child. They need to, you don't want to be the overbearing, like, well, let me talk to her. Well, let me tell her. You know, you kind of come in as needed. And when we kind of matured the relationship and we started living together, then that was another step. Okay, hey girl, how you doing? Okay, we're getting the kids. Hi. And then when we engaged, it was like, okay, hey, Trey is busy, whatever. Can we get the kids? So I would kind of coordinate a little bit then. And then when we got married, at some point you step into your position as a woman, as a wife, and you're absolutely able to communicate. But again, my primary focus was always the kids. And I wanted to be mindful that if I even get a hint that this woman is feeling any kind of negative energy or something is transpiring that I'm not trying to give off, then I would absolutely back up. And a lot of people don't agree with me on that. It's like, well, you're the wife, but at the same time, this is about the kids. Like, I don't have time for these power trips.
Because if not, that can cause more of a bigger issue.
Absolutely.
You
like,
know,
it's just not that serious.
Yeah, kind of battling and going back and forth with who's right, who's wrong, who has more power, more position.
Exactly. Like, it's really, no.
Yeah. But no, so of course, I guess, like we mentioned, 3 of our boys stay here with us, live in the house. So like I say, their mother definitely, you know, feel comfortable with my wife over periods of time and never really having to have any issues. And of course, conversations with them, me kind of explaining, you know, how she helped me out and what are things that she kind of helped me with, and more so giving her the role and platform for them to kind of look into kind of trusting her.
Well, yeah, and have a level of respect for me as well.
Yeah, so a lot of the times I have to tell them, you know, where if you really want some real detailed stuff or us planning to get the kids, you know, during the summer times and stuff like that, or any trips that we planning with them,
Contact
that's
me.
more explaining, you know, talking to her.
Because I get it done. This guy,
he does a better job than me.
you know, I handle the situation. No, but another thing is, before the boys started living here, because I think this was a lot of your question, Tiffany, like you said, they're on the other side of the U.S. The mothers live all the way in Atlanta still. So a big part of it was sitting down and having a conversation. And honestly, the start of that conversation was something as simple as, hey, you know, the kids have been coming by in the summer. I just want to kind of see how you feel about my position. I think it kind of started because I'm all over Facebook. I love to post. I love to do all of that. And I think I kind of broke the ice by kind of discussing, how do you feel about me posting your child on social media? Because I've always identified with Trey's boys, and I never say that, but I've always identified with them as our children.
Yeah.
So, but I also knew that, like, and another thing is just know what it is. Like, it's great to, these are my kids, but ultimately you're not the biological parent, and you want to be respectful of this other woman and this other person. And so, you know, I talked about that, and then I said, you know, well, I am their stepmother, and this is kind of my expectation, and you give me your expectation. So again, building trust, building respect, and just the line of communication and being open. Because at the end of the day, I think they could see that not only had he changed so much and matured, and I'm sure that they felt like that was a combination of our relationship and just his own maturity, but just having somebody that they can kind of having an ally in some kind of ways when they kind of had a breakdown in between the two of them. So it really sucks for people that don't have that. You know, I hate these stories where I hear that, well, girl, he won't let me meet the woman. What? And you sending your kid over there? How? Like, that's crazy to me. So, anyways, it's been good for us. The kids are here, and again, I would only assume that they have a strong level of trust because it takes a lot. Like I said, I'm a woman. Keep this in mind too. Okay, go ahead, babe. I'm sorry.
Also that they're boys.
They're boys. That is different.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could.
I don't know how girls would be. I know I always hear that it's hard for a woman. At least my wife always says.
I let them know now. Like, I love you, and I pray to Jesus we together till we die. Because if we're not, you're not taking my goddamn kids nowhere.
Yeah, it ain't gotta be about taking the kids, but just having the kids to come over and feeling comfortable.
That's true.
Nature, so.
But girls are different because the girls are they're gonna mingle more with the mom.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So always be mindful of that too as well with our situation. So, you know, they are boys, there are older boys now too as well, and I think they more so felt like because they are boys and getting older, that they understood the dynamic and the importance of them having their father in their life. And
yes.
That was kind of another reason why they was a little bit more open, at least the feedback that they gave me.
Yes.
On why they
because they needed their dad.
Yeah, especially to take that trip across the country like that. Because I don't know if it was girls they'll be willing to do that, or you know, I think definitely don't think it would have been an
Or
issue.
a younger child.
Or a younger child, yeah, like a, when we say
Because-
younger, we talking about like
10 and under.
10 and under, so.
It's probably like, yeah,
That'll
you're not
probably
getting
be a
my
little bit
baby.
harder.
You're not getting my baby.
So,
But boys, as they get older, they definitely need their dad. But the relationships, you know what? I could not have thought. If I were to hear my situation, I would think, oh, that must be a lot of drama.
yeah.
But it's not. I think it's about what you put off, what you're putting out to the people that you interact with. And I think just setting the standard of what you will and what you won't accept. And luckily in my situation, these are not combative women. They're not violent. They wasn't trying to fight.
Right.
They weren't trying to do any of that. But if I had been in a position like that, I don't tolerate that kind of stuff. So
But also it's just, everybody just got a level of respect for each other.
absolutely.
And I definitely think that whoever, in our case, it would be me that has the ties to both sides. But whoever that person is, you know, if it's a woman in the same situation, then it's just that person do have to kind of be the somewhat of a nucleus to kind of get everybody to having the same level of respect. And like my wife mentioned and we kind of talked about was keeping the kids is the number one priority. So as long as you stay focused on the children's well-being and everybody's on the same page with that, I definitely feel like, you know, anybody can have a good relationship, even if you don't have one right now. Just pray about it and
Prayer.
just kind of learn what you can do a little bit better to kind of add a sense of level and respect to the other person, you know. So.
I mean, I can't tell you how long I prayed for the day that the boys would be here with us and
Oh,
they would
yeah.
be able to
Live with us.
be raised by us.
Yeah,
And prayer works.
it sure does.
And
So,
that's all I can tell you. So,
so we hope that you guys.
hope you got a
Yeah,
lot from this, a
understanding.
better
Yeah.
understanding of our dynamic. If we missed anything, feel free to ask more detailed questions.
Exactly.
We have no
Ask
problem.
anything, yeah.
Anything.
We're pretty
We're
much
open.
pretty much open. Like I say, it's not just all about us, but we want to kind of give you guys some feedback in our experience, but also we want to kind of help you guys out in, maybe in your situation too as well. So if anything that you have a question about, or maybe your situation is a little bit different, feel free to still ask us and we'll give you guys our take.
Yeah.